Did you know that if you and I walked into a bar together, I could walk over and talk to a bunch of different women and get 80 or 90% of their phone numbers, and almost all of them would seem pretty keen to see me again. So does that mean that I can have every woman I see? No. It means that I'm approaching the right women. Now, this is a trick that pickup artists use to try to fool guys into believing that they can have any woman they see, and that's just bollocks. But it's actually a trick that guys need to learn because most men approach the wrong women. How do you pick the right ones? Keep watching, and I'll tell you how. When most guys first start learning to be successful with women, they often find themselves getting focused on a particular archetype that they want to achieve. That is, maybe the first day, the first couple of weeks they walk into a club, they see a type of woman that feels so unobtainable that they think, if I could get girls like that, then I'd have made it, then I'd be totally successful. And I did the same thing in my early days. I remember, I got really fixated on the party girl, the type of girl who clubs would put on their advertisements for the club. The types of girls who knew all the bouncers, types of girls who didn't have to wait in line to get into the club because bouncers would just let them on in, And I thought to myself, if I could get girls like that, I'd be the king of the pickup world. But the problem with that thinking, and the danger with that thinking that no one really tells guys, is that oftentimes you fail to realize that the women you're focused on have personalities that are a wildly horrible clash with your own. And that makes your dating life, that makes your life trying to attract these women super, super difficult. If you're an introvert and she's a huge extrovert, you're never going to enjoy being around her. I mean, you're really, really not. You're going to like one-on-one conversations, having really, deep, interesting chats with people. She's going to hate that. She's going to want to have people around all the time, trying to get people's attention, trying to, just have a party lifestyle. It's going to be so different from who you feel you are and who you honestly actually are. And this was my experience too, because when I was focused on these party girls, I'm a slight introvert, not an extreme, but I'm a slight introvert. And I'm a sapiosexual. That means that I like intelligence. Intelligence really turns me on. So when I want to go and talk to women, I want to talk to women who are intellectually engaging, who I can have these really great chats with, who have a really solid sense of humor that makes me laugh and gets my sense of humor as well. And these women didn't have that. And so I found myself struggling for a long time because I had to actually change who I was. It was up to me to bridge the gap in personality between me and those girls. So I had to force myself to behave like an extrovert. I had to force myself to behave like a party guy. And I'm not a party guy. I don't like party guy stuff. But I had to behave like that to attract her, to make her see me and be interested in me. And I was never enjoying it, even when I was getting successful. And it took a huge amount of work to get there. But even when I was successful, I wasn't enjoying it. And a huge amount of liberation came for me when I instead started focusing on women who were a better match for my personality. So when I would look around for women who were attractive, of course, them being hot to me is important, but who were more likely to be intelligent, more likely to have interesting things to say, and more likely to have a great sense of humor. When I started, approaching those women, I found that it was fun. I found that I got to be me. I got to, all my little quirks I didn't have to hide or try to smooth over with bullshit. I got to use my sense of humor and I got to talk about the things I want to talk about. And I was really engaged in the conversations with them. It wasn't hard work anymore. And indeed, over the years, over the last decade, coaching guys, I've realized that if guys get focused on women who match their personalities, at least to start with, all of a sudden their success rates jump. They take a massive leap because there's not such a steep learning curve to start to get some results, because those women are organically, very easily going to be attracted to you as you are. Now, I know that for a lot of you starting out, you might think to yourselves, how do I really know then which women have a personality similar to myself? In the beginning, the answer is you probably won't be so good at it, but you'll get it very quickly with practice. So if you start approaching women who you think at all might be similar to you, start talking to them. And you'll be able to adjust. You'll start to see, women like this, I don't get along with so well. Women like this, conversation seems really easy. Start approaching women like that. Get started with that. You will learn. I mean, it took me about a month of practicing, of approaching, maybe say 10 approaches a week, to really start to get a feel for the types of women who were a really great match for my personality. And by 2-3 months, I was spot on. Like every woman I'd approach, I'd get along with. Even if she had a boyfriend, I'd still get along with her. And if she didn't, usually we'd click enough to get a phone number and for me to try something. So that's a skill that you need to pick up, and that's a skill that you guys should be investing in. Stop trying to focus on unobtainium, not because it's unobtainium, not because you shouldn't reach for stars, but because probably you're not going to enjoy it. I don't focus on those girls anymore. I went through all the work to be able to pick them up, and I don't bother, because what's the point if you're not enjoying yourself? There's hot women of every personality type. Focus on the ones that match who you are. And that's the trick that pickup artists use to fool you into thinking that they can have any woman they see. And it's not true. Not a single man on the planet has that skill. For every man, there is a range, like a relatively narrow range of women with whom he will click really, really well. And the further from that personality type they are, the harder work it is and the less fun it is. So guys, to instantly increase your attraction with women, please start focusing on the right kind of women. Now, if you've made it this far in my video, I want to give you a reward. I wrote an award-winning, best-selling book called Sincere Seduction, and it covers everything you need to know about dating, meeting, and attracting beautiful women. I'm going to make it available for you as a free audio download right now. All you got to do, click the link up here or the link down in the notes below, and you can download it straight away. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any thoughts on this, please be sure to write it down in the comments below. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.